This comment had me CC'd all morning. Chovy is a really great player, and during the semis, his teammates failed him, but he still can't compete with Faker, though, as seen during Game 2, where he was 1v1ing with a low-health Faker. And he can't even kill him. He needs more time. He's had a massively winning... Here's my response. He's had a massively winning record against Faker over the last 2 years, but yeah, he can't compete with Faker. We're not even saying, like, is he better than Faker at this point? We're saying Chovy cannot even compete with Faker. Like, he can't compete with him. It's just, like, insane. It's like Faker's all the way up here. Like, bro, I would say that about like an APA or some shit. Like, this is what I would say about a player like APA. It's like, yeah, I mean, APA still can't compete with the best Eastern mid laners. Like, maybe in a few years he'll be able to, but right now he probably can't. Imagine you beat somebody in 10 series in a row and then you lose one, even if it is the most important one. You win 10 and then you lose the most important one, and then people say, yeah, you just can't compete with that guy. You can't even be in a competition with that guy. It's like, I don't know, bro, but yeah, he can't compete with Faker. Maybe after a few more years, but for now Faker is still on top. Okay, I just laughed. Curious, have you watched the LCK regular season in the past 3 years? Yet, who's on finals? Okay, mate. Like, oh, bro, it's so hard. I don't know if you speak English, but recently he's been beating Faker regularly. Not in a few years, in the last years. Yet he's still on finals. Oh! I can't take it anymore. No, bro, there was another one. All right, I gotta do all my petty grievances, bro. I gotta I gotta show you all the stuff that has given me the most AIDS in the last couple days. This is the worst part about T1 winning. Like, number one, I actually thought T1 would be good. I have fucking receipts. Go back to my breakdown video. I said T1 would be good at this World Championship. Bro, they got T1 patches. They got a double T1 patch. The meta is good for them. They've always been good when the meta is good for them. They're just they just don't succeed in other metas. As soon as they pretty much removed all the AD mids, they nerfed the out of like all the AD mids, fleet footwork, absorb life. They nerfed Doran's blade. They nerfed all the champions individually, like all the champions that Faker was struggling on. If you're just able to play Ahri and you're able to play Sylas and these types of champs, like, Faker's always been good at those. So let's keep on going, bro. There's another one. Here's the other comment. I'm gonna go find it. I actually screenshotted it. This was in a thread about like why is everyone just shitting on Chovy like ridiculously hard? There is a reason for that. Chovy's problem is very simple. He's, if given golden, a very, very reliable carry that can dance around a fight and deal a metric ton of damage. But that is the mindset of an AD carry. He's in the wrong role. That's the issue. The greatest mid laners have a few screws loose in their heads. Chovy is too sane for the lane. Mid lane has always and will always be the playmaking role. We just came out of a meta with like 80 carries mid for an entire season, by the way, for like an entire split. Anyways. It's not about damage or farm. He certainly lacks that explosiveness, that bloodlust, the hunger for action, the narcissistic need to be the one making the game-winning play. Zika, Rookie, Showmaker, and Faker have never seen a fight they don't like. By the way, like, Rookie plays almost identical to Chovy. Like, Chovy's just essentially a better version of Rookie. Anyways, that they don't like. Their first thought is always to lunge at the first enemy champion to appear on the screen. That means they'll make a lot of mistakes, but they'll outshine everyone else. Oh! Make a stop. I can't, bro. I can't. Like, we have literally the player who has been the best individual player in this game for years now. I would say it's been like 3 years of Chovy just being the best individual player. And like, yeah, he doesn't turn up at big moments. Like, it's probably something more that has to, like, he probably just needs to get some type of like sports psychologist, get him over this barrier where he is not playing as well internationally. I mean, even though I don't think that it's like his fault, I don't think he's choking as hard as people will believe, but I think that there is something there. He is playing worse internationally. Even in MSI, he wasn't as good as he was domestically. But like, people said the same thing about him domestically before he started stacking titles. And then he just got title after title after title after title. He got 4 titles in a row. No one says like, oh, Chovy can't play. It's just the goalposts keep on moving. And then this guy's going to eventually be a world champion because he is just the best player in the game. And at some point, like, he most likely will be a world champion. I mean, Faker said he certainly will be a world champion in one of the threads here, the incredible player. Like, he's just good. and eventually he'll get a title. In my opinion, he'll get a title, and then they'll move the goalpost again, where it's like, yeah, but he doesn't have enough title. I mean, it's so exhausting. This guy has been the best player in the game for like 3 years individually, and because he's failed at Worlds 3 times now, the other ones I don't count. 2021, 2019, I'm not counting those, bro. Like, those are ones where it's like he's not expected to do anything. His team, like, he's playing on Hanwha Life in 2021 with fucking Willer, Morgan, and Vista, bro. That's who he's playing with in 2021. Of course, they're getting 3-0'd by T1 there. That's not a choke. They were the 4 seed for a reason. Anyways, he loses this best of 5, and instantly it's, yeah, he's got to become an 80 carry. He deals a metro. It's like, I can smell the low ELO from this comment, bro. I can smell the fucking silver play. Like, can you imagine what we're dealing with here? We are dealing with a silver or gold player, most likely, that has now psychoanalyzed Chovy and essentially came to the conclusion, this is upvoted, this is like 108 upvotes, like people are like, yep, that's the one right there. We are saying that Chovy needs to switch role to AD carry. He's been so effective in multiple different metas, including metas with all the playmakers, bro. Like, he was one of the best Talias in LCK, bro. If you watch LCK, he was one of the best at like so many different champions. Like, he's one of the best Silas's in the entire league. Akali, he's one of the best Akalis in the league. He was the best Ari player in the league. He's one of him and Showmaker are the best 2 LeBlanc players. Like, if you go to playmaking champions, he is good on playmakers. If you look at like his Azir, he was the best tank Azir player in the world, and he was just making plays. Like, watch the fucking games that he's playing, bro. The thing about like Chovy in general, I think the biggest thing about Genji that people don't realize is that like the way people are like, oh, like Chovy was farming side while his team was like getting into fights and like they were just losing, and the way that people view it is they're like, oh, well, that means that, oh, that was an insane ult, by the way. Just gets this huge ult onto everyone. And the way that people view it is they're like, oh, well, that means that Chovy was doing the wrong thing, right? Why is he farming side while his teammates are dying? It's like, bro, that is literally how Genji played all year. Like, the whole way that Genji would consistently play is that they would funnel gold into Chovy. They would go down like 1 or 2K, but Chovy would have gold. They would get into a team fight. They would win the team fight and win the game. That's how they were in spring too. And when they were winning LCK, when they were winning MSI, no one had a problem with how Genji played. And everyone thought that Genji's style was really OP. Like, I thought that Genji's style looked the most OP this entire year. I think Genji was the best team of the entire year up until this point. As soon as they lose games, suddenly the style just sucks. It's like, oh, bro, look, they're not fighting. I mean, a lot of the times, when we go back and we do the VOD review, a lot of the times when we're watching the games, there'll be very key moments where you see where you see Genji take a fight or get picked where they normally wouldn't. And I feel like that was a deciding factor of the games. It's like Lehens is just dying nonstop. They're taking like weird fights. There's lack of coordination. People are on different sides of the fight, etc. And that is why they ended up losing, is because Genji normally doesn't play like that, right? Like, Genji doesn't normally have those issues.